You know, I had asked Dave about coming to the first space show, and he said no, he's too busy. He's got to finish service. So, you know, he was getting closer to the end of the 300 issue run. And then, you know, we had the disastrous showing in the first year. So I did send him another letter, and I said, you know, we're going to do it one more time if you're interested. And, you know, I kind of thought, okay, you know, we're going to go through the motions one more time, and, you know, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, no problem. And then I got a phone call from Dave one day, and he just said, I'm going to come to space. And I said, great. And he said, what I want to do is start like a grant, if you will, or a prize for small pressers, so that they, you know, to help fund their publishing. And he said it's called the Eugene Day. I'm sorry, I'm screwing up. Howard Eugene Day Prize, or prize, which is Gene Day's full name. Gene Day being a small presser from back in the 70s, and you know, worked on Marvel's Master of Kung Fu, which is, you know, really great stuff. Yeah, he did some other. I was kind of moving away from Marvel by that time, but so he did some work for Marvel. So he wanted to do that, and he said, I'd like to start it at Space. And he says that it's kind of nice, you know, you have already established the show, and it is very oriented towards small press work. You know, there's not a lot of big names there, and also that's kind of the place he thought was a good place to do this. So he came in 2001, and we collected maybe about 50 books, and I shipped them up to him, and the winner that year was, I'm going to have a tough time remembering here, Faith of Fable, and I'm missing, I'll send you the guy's name later. So that went real well, and it was like a preview in Cerebus at the time, $500 and a plaque. And he also came the next year and presented the awards. He actually gave plaques to all the nominees. There's usually about 6 to 8 people that he picks out, and before they pick the final, that all get like final nominee plaques. So it was real nice. We had a nice little presentation of the awards, and we've done that ever since. Seeing more bigger names at some point, but I don't know if that's happening. But it does seem to be growing here locally, and maybe that's what it needs to be. I think we've always tried to maintain it as a real small press show, and you know, and just worked it from there. And it's always fun to walk in here and see all the different work that you don't see anywhere else. I think that's the way it's going to stay. I mean, I haven't. The earlier years, I spent a lot of time talking to people who were a little more well-known and beating on them to come, and you know, a few of them have, and that's great. And you know, we're always happy to see Dave Sim back, and Paul Hornschmeyer, and I just killed his name, I know. It's good. You know, he came here when he was just starting, and he comes back every year, and I'm glad that he does. He got a lot of good press here locally before the show, which I appreciate that he kind of mentioned us and threw us in there. So. But yeah, generally what I see is there's you know, a lot of these small press guys who, you know, may continue on elsewhere or not. You know, we've seen some of the guys go on and do other things, and it's kind of interesting. But it's always neat to look at the work. We try every year to try to get more people involved and bring more people through the door. As opposed to a regular comic book convention, I think there's more things of interest to people who aren't even interested in comics here than there would be at a regular convention. So we've been trying to work on that, and just try to impress upon people the difference that there is. I don't know, this is kind of our trial year, so I wanted to see what happens. Unfortunately, it's pretty nice out today, so I think that hurt us a little bit. I don't know if that just means that there'll be some people showing up tomorrow that didn't come today. So we'll see how this one goes, and then we'll make that decision. I probably have a couple weeks after this to, you know, to set a date next year for this place, and we'll see how it goes.